Hello everybody and welcome to Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. I'm Jack and today I'm here taking a look at Diancie Morpeko, a bit of a fun archetype, not the most competitive, but one that boasts a pretty good power gear matchup, which looks to be a really strong contender from the new set. And in general, it's just so much fun to play. It's I'm loving playing this deck. It's great fun. It's all built around this Diancie with the Princess's Curtain ability from Astral Radiance that says, as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to your basic benched Pokemon. So essentially, what that means is your opponent can't boss up your benched basics, which is really good in combination with like a hit and run strategy that Morpeko can bring to the deck. Electro Wheel doing 150 and letting you, says you have to discard an energy from this Pokemon, and then you switch Morpeko to the bench. So we're going to be doing 150 a turn. We're going to be throwing a Diancie in the active, making our opponent struggle to hit our two prize Pokemon because they can't be bossed up. So they're going to have to take one prize turn after turn after turn, whilst we're going to be slowly applying pressure and building up lots of energy to be able to close the game out with Raichu and its dynamic spark attack that does 60 times the number of lightning energy you discard from your board. So yeah, we're playing Flaaffies to dynamote the energy back on. To try and, one, keep a flow of Morpekos going, but two, also start, like I say, adding extra attachments to build up towards Raichu in the late game. Obviously, this can be bossed up. It's not a bench basic Pokemon, but again, they're only taking one prize, which is really good. We've got the Manaphy in here to prevent being sniped on the bench. We've got the Radiant Greninja because it provides some great synergy with the deck in general. Discarding energy is brilliant because you're needing it for the Flaaffy to be able to draw more, or to be able to get more energy on board. And you're also drawing cards with concealed cards as well, which is great. And then we've got the Crobat in here just to smooth things out as well. Yeah, we've got a Hisuian heavy ball, some level balls, and some quick balls, as well as an ultra ball, just to help find as many Diancies as possible in the early turns. That's like the primary goal, is just keeping a flow of Diancies turn after turn. Got some recovery for the Diancies. We've got Rod plus Carrier. Stormy Mountains searches out all of the important Pokemon. It means we don't have to spend Ball Search on them and we can find Diancie instead. And then a plethora of different supporters. Because we're playing this sort of hit and run strategy where we're making our opponent go through one prizes, we actually get use out of double Roxanne in a lot of games, which is really good. It means that you get to Roxanne twice and really try and disrupt the opponent, which is great, especially when you're also providing like 150 pressure per turn after turn, or even 180 if we manage to pop a Choice Belt on the Morpeko as well. Yeah, and then just Air Balloons to keep us moving around, Bird Keepers, all the usual stuff. And then we also get to play Speed Lightning as well for some additional draw power. So yeah, really exciting deck. It's a lot of fun. It's not the most competitive, but I really enjoy playing it. A couple of additions you maybe want to add. Something like a Miltank as another hit and run option in the late game. Miltank plus Roxanne can be quite difficult to deal with for some decks. You've got things like the Morpeko VMAX as a sort of a late game finisher. If you don't want to go down the Raichu route, or maybe you want to go down the Raichu route in addition to the Morpeko VMAX just to make like a big tanky Pokemon for your opponent to have to get through towards the end of the game. And yeah, any other sort of lightning attackers that you potentially can see sort of helping close out the game. A lot of the time it's just going to be Electro Wheel turn after turn, but you have sort of a turn towards the end of the game to try and do some funky stuff with all the energy you get to access because of Dynamotor. So yeah, let's head on to the ladder. Not before mentioning Potown Store. Make sure you check out the Potown Store. They have Astral Radiance codes, so you're able to grab them now. Make sure you use code Omnipoke for 5% off your order. And yeah, as we jump into a game here, yeah, the deck isn't like super competitive, but it's definitely like the most fun I've been having with the deck that basically isn't Palkia so far. It's just loads of fun. I'm really enjoying playing it. And it does have a pretty strong Palkia matchup. Obviously, there are some kind of awkward things. Palkia can play cross switches. Any deck can play cross switches and get around you. There's plenty of different sort of options for the deck to go down. So we do see a Miltank here. Miltank's a bit of an awkward one. We can slowly chip away at it with Diancies and stuff. And even the Flaaffies. Okay. I'm going to be attaching the speed to the Raichu here, I think. Just because we can fast charge, which is pretty nice. Going to be putting the balloon down. Going to be putting the Diancie down. I don't want to put the Crobat down if we can help it, so I think I'm going to hold off putting the Crobat down and just see what we draw from the Raichu. We don't really need too much this turn, to be honest. I mean, another Mareep would be great, or Morpeko would be great. But I think this is fine to just see what we draw. Nothing great. Okay, we probably are going to have to Crobat here then. I was hoping to draw something for the following turn, but it looks like we're going to have to Crobat here. We'll do it now because we're going to see less cards on the following turn. Do you hit the Morpeko? Would have been nice to get the attachment on the Morpeko, but this way we do at least get to get a fast charge on the go. And we actually have a boss. We have 2 boss in hand already, which is great because it actually means we can maybe apply pressure on this next turn. But yeah, fast charge can be used on the first turn of the game to get an additional energy onto the Raichu V. I have to see what kind of deck our opponent is playing. We have lots of energy recovery, so if it's like a control deck, obviously we're gonna struggle to get through a lot of Miltanks, but we can blow up Blissies eventually, which is good. Boss KOing the Mareep. That is rude. Okay, just going to promote the Diancie, and I'm pretty sure we're just going to be spike drawing for the next few turns anyway, since our hand is pretty dead. So let's just do that. We do have the mountains, so we will at least get to mountain out a Mareep. And yeah, let's just start chipping away at this Miltank. Draw a couple of cards. So we're down to 90. We need 3 turns of attacking with Spike Draw to then be able to KO with a Flaaffy. Oh, we actually had the Rod. We could have shuffled the guy in. Ooh, we see a Radiant Greninja on the bench. So this looks like some kind of controlling variant. Are they going to be KOing our Flaaffy again? Oh, they can't KO the Flaaffy. They can't KO the Flaaffy. That's correct. That is indeed correct. They are going to get the KO with Route here, though. Pretty sure I'm going to just boss up the Greninja, I think. And KO the Greninja with with Dynamic Spark. That makes the most sense. I actually want to get this Mareep back, I think. But I don't really want to draw it. I want to Stormy Mountain that out. So let's do it this way. Let's grab a Mareep now. I guess we don't actually need to... We don't need to rush here. We can just boss KO. So we are going to have to discard 2 energy, which is a bit awkward. They've used 2 boss. I'm not expecting too many more boss, so I actually think I am going to go for the Flaaffy here. So we do have 2... I'm going to go for the Flaaffy, just because I want to discard a... another basic energy. I really don't want to discard some of these special energies, just because we might need to actually take some big KOs with this at some point. It's unfortunate that we are 10 damage short if we don't discard 2, but still. Let's get rid of the Greninja. Hopefully start to slow their draw power. Route is perfect damage at dealing with Flaaffys, which is quite hilarious. And perfect damage for dealing with Diancias as well. Just gonna try and build a big hand here. They've used 2 boss, so I think my Flaaffy is fairly safe. See the heavy ball here. So now I think we're pretty safe to just go into the Flaaffy. Or we could wait one more turn. I don't mind waiting one more turn, I don't think. Let's wait one more turn. Oh, we did hit a Diancie as well, which is great. We also have Marnie and Roxanne and stuff for the following turn if we need it. Oh, for later in the game if we need it. So they're going to be able to get a KO on this Diancie. They're going to go down to 2. We're going to take a KO with the Flaaffy. And basically we're just going to hope that they don't have an energy. They have a switch card. Switch card is pretty annoying, to be honest. Well, they do have an energy as well. Looks like they might just KO all of our all of our 1 prizes, which is brilliant. Yeah, not too much we can do. It's the deck does not perform well against the quad Miltank deck, it seems. Pretty sure there's nothing I'm missing that we can really do, which is a shame. Yeah, we're just gonna hand it to our opponent here. So can't beat the quad Miltank deck because Flaaffy just does 50 damage. I thought we might be able to just about out-resource them there, but they had the switch cart on a pretty key turn, which I'm assuming they were probably holding for a while. But yes, we will grab another game. Could potentially use Mareep's Growl to try and buy some turns, but realistically we weren't doing much even if we had more turns. So we just didn't have many outs to dealing with Miltanks. So that could be argument for something like a Regieleki or something in the deck, for sure. Looks like we're up against a water deck of sorts. Has cross switches, which we don't like to see. It is going to be Palkia. So I think the most important thing is trying to find a Diancie this turn. We don't have any ways of being super aggressive, so just trying to find a Diancie this turn is going to be one of the most important things we can do. Which should be doable given we have a couple of quick balls here. We'll grab Diancie. I think I'll probably grab Diancie and Mareep, and then actually no, I might just grab Diancie and Greninja. I think that makes the most sense. Put these both down. I'm going to Air Balloon both of these. And then we're just going to research. Hoping to find one of Morpeko or Mareep, which we did. So this is definitely coming down. Pretty sure we're just going to go for a spike draw here. Or we could just pay. Or we could just attach and pay retreat. Oh, and switch into the Diancie. We have Bird Keeper plus Balloon plus Flaaffy. Yeah, let's do it like this. And we will pass it over. We could have potentially gone for the Radiant Greninja there. But getting an attachment on is more important than just getting 2 cards. So they use the Stormy Mountains to assess the situation. They have the V-Star. They have the attack. They have like... if they have a cross-switcher, they can Irida for the second cross-switcher. What are they doing? They're doing 60... They're doing 160 at the moment. Now doing 180. Subspace Swell for the KO. Okay, if we can find some ways to discard energy here, we could be onto a winner, because we could actually just get a KO on this Palkia right here, right now. Which would be great. So we're definitely going to be doing this, and we're definitely going to be doing this. We need an energy plus a way to discard an energy. We always have a way to discard an energy, so we need to see 2 energy. And the way we see the most amount of cards in this situation is with a Marnie as opposed to a Bird Keeper. They clearly didn't have too much, but that makes me think they maybe have Drizzles in hand, so I don't mind doing this. Plus we're taking so much tempo if we get this KO with Palkia here, on the Palkia here. So I'm pretty sure Marnieing is fairly good. I'm going to attach this balloon before we go. But yeah, I'm pretty sure mining here is pretty strong. Just need 2 energy here. Or outs towards. So yeah, I'm not going to quick ball just because we know none of the cards on the bottom are energy. So we're hoping this draws us an energy card, which it does. Which you'd love to see. So we get the Dynamo to here. Yep, and they are going to get out of there. Not enough tempo in the early turns for them to be able to deal with us Morpekoing them on turn 2. So yeah, it has an okay Palkia matchup. I see a water deck box. Maybe this is going to be another Palkia here. This hand's significantly worse, unfortunately. We're going second. Sorry, we're going first. Which means we have an extra turn to do stuff. We see a Palkia. Let's see what the speed energy gives us. Ugh, not too much. Is there any way they can KO us here? Pretty sure there is not, so I don't think there is a reason for me to play this Bird Keeper. Excuse me. So let's pass it over, and if they have a way to KO us, I think we were in a pretty bad spot anyway. It'd be like... Suicune. They'd have to Suicune. I think Suicune is the only way they can KO us. If they play Suicune. Or Starmie. No, Starmie wouldn't do enough. So yeah, Suicune is what they would have to play. Or some other Water V Pokemon that they can Melody to. Huh. If they play a random Dark Energy, they actually could KO us with a Crobat. But I'm not confident on that. Unfortunately, our hand still isn't providing very much. think we attach. And know that we can go into a Diancie here, potentially. Ooh. Maybe not. There is a Diancie. Oh, I should have definitely discarded a water lightning there, because then we could have mountains out a. Yeah, definitely should have discarded a lightning there. That was a mistake. Now we basically can't get a KO next turn because of this. Silly me. Oh well. Arguably, even Morpekoing there is kind of wrong, because they can still just boss us. Yeah, I think this turn could have been slightly cleaner. If we discarded an energy, we could have then attached to the Morpeko here. They could have still bossed the Morpeko. But then we have double Mareep on board to be able to develop double Flaaffy. So we make it a lot easier to get a KO next turn. Now he basically has to miss energy and evolve, right? Which is very unlikely. So yeah, we've put ourselves in a pretty bad spot here. We didn't have a great hand anyway, but we haven't helped the situation too much. But maybe we can buy ourselves a turn or two with Diancie. That would be ideal. So they have the KO on this Mareep for sure. They're doing 18, they're doing 21, so they can just KO the Morpeko if they want to. I think that's a bad idea for them though. I think them taking the Mareep out here is favourable for them. We'll put them in a better spot. Guarantees I'm not attacking next turn. Not that they know that, but... Actually, to be fair, we could still, like, Raichu KO this next turn. Okay. If they don't put a Palkia down this turn... I'm pretty sure we have to go for the Raichu and play and try and race them. Even though they're taking the first two. They didn't even power up the Greninja. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have discarded the Manaphy. I was completely forgetting about Greninja being a threat. That was very foolish of me. Pretty sure we're just going to Bird Keeper into the Diancie and see what's what. Only punished by drawing a better draw supporter than Bird Keeper. Which we didn't, which is good. I'm just going to go for the KO here, I believe. Again, if we'd had a way to discard... if we discarded energy on turn 1, we actually would just have a KO here. So yeah, that turn 1 initial play was pretty bad. Still have no way to get a KO, hilariously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards in hand. We can play... all but 5, so we can Crobat for 1. Well, I think we do. is any Quick Ball. Or any discard. Actually, no. There's actually not that many outs, I guess. I'm not going to put the Morpeko back. So we need Quick Ball. We don't have that many outs. Thinking about it. I feel like I've played this game pretty badly. I feel like I've made a few mistakes along the way. That if we just discarded that energy turn 1, this whole game would have been so much smoother. Oh well. It is what it is. Might be going for the snipe this turn, by the looks of it. Which I think is fine because we can just boss the Palkia and KO. Let's get another Palkia out though. So you're going to be able to Star Portal energy back on. Let's see where this energy goes. So there's definitely, yeah, definitely 2 to the Greninja. Probably 1 just to the active to retreat. Oh, 1 to the bench. Interesting. Not even KOing this turn. Wow. That's pretty perfect for me, because this lets me put a Manaphy out and Roxanne. So they get the KO with the Palkia and go down to 1. I have to get the KO with a with a Morpeko the following turn. That's fine. Still in a rough spot, but I feel like they've definitely helped us there. I'm only going to get rid of 1 off the active because we actually potentially could lose a Flaaffy here, which would mean we can't KO with the Morpeko. So let's just do this. Take our first 2 prizes of the game. See if we can claw our way back into this game. I think it's probably unlikely, but we'll have to see. Fairly confident promote from them. Okay, cool. I guess I was taking another 2 the following turn, pretty much guaranteed. Felt like a bit of a early concession from them there. But yeah, pretty rough game against Miltank. Like none of those games were like too impressive, I guess. Considering we definitely could have lost that Palkia had I just made 1 decision slightly differently on like turn 1 of the game, I'm pretty sure we would have been in like a insanely good spot against the Palkia. So evidently it has a fairly strong Palkia, I think, which is kind of obvious because it's a lightning deck, right? No outs for Quad Miltank, evidently. Maybe we need to find space for a Regieleki or something. But yeah, I don't want to I don't know how to stack up too much, just because it's definitely, I feel, more sort of meme tier than super top tier. But it really does show how strong Diancie is, I think. Very, very strong card. Lets you do these weird things like this. I actually think Diancie is probably better in some other instances, like control decks and stuff like that. But just playing one of Diancie to buy yourself a turn is pretty strong. I think I don't think there'll be many decks playing things like Cross Switcher. Rope gets around it as well, but Rope is obviously up to you. But yeah, roping the Diancie then lets you boss around it, which is kind of awkward. You can just put double Diancie down though, which works. As well as cancelling Cologne, so obviously people can play cancelling Cologne to ignore Diancie's ability to then boss around you. So there's lots of answers to this deck. It's never going to be like the tippy top of tier 1 because there's so many ways to counter it. But if you just want to farm some Palkias, I definitely recommend having a go. Playing the Mighty Bean deck, he looks great as well. He's just super happy. So yeah, nothing super competitive, but one that I've really been enjoying playing on the ladder today and over the past few week or so since the set's been released. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I've been Jack from Omnipoke, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another video soon. Cheers.